You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Glad you can join me. Thank you. Welcome to another episode of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Make sure you go to our Facebook page to get in contact with the show for comments or suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. So, I wanted to do a show Monday. I'm trying to get into that, doing, provide content every day. But my team, the Atlanta Falcons, they don't make it easy, as I need a few days to recover from what I've seen. And the past 3 weeks, it has not been pretty being a Falcons fan. So, right now, us Falcon fans are going through it. And if you know anybody that are Falcon fans, reach out to them, okay? Reach out to them, see if they're okay, and tell them it's going to be all right. I need someone to tell me that. Well, I'm calm now. Woo, Sunday, man. We should not have lost that game to the Chicago Bears. Being up the way we were, again, 2 consecutive weeks now. The Bears decided to bench Mitch Trubisky at halftime and bring in the savior, Nick Foles. Apparently that's what he does with franchises. He saves them, and he was the savior for the Chicago Bears on Sunday. Now, I want you to keep in mind that the Falcons got all the breaks, penalty-wise, and remember, there were 2 touchdowns that were called back against Chicago. Nick Foles came out in the second half. I believe he threw for 180-something yards. And this was only in a quarter and a half of work. Our defense is atrocious. Our defense is sickening, and not in a good way. And I am one of the people who have said that I believe Raheem Morris is he is the defensive coordinator. He should have been terminated immediately after the game. I know people want Dan Quinn to be fired, but firing Dan Quinn now does nothing. He's the head coach. Firing him now does nothing at all for this organization. But the DC, who I believe is Raheem Morris, needed to be fired immediately following the game on Sunday. No need to keep him around. If we're just going to keep giving up leads like this, no need to keep him around. I mean, why? But I heard an interesting perspective today on one of the local sports talks radio show here in Atlanta, and they said something interesting, and I apply this to a lot of the jobs that I've worked at. And this is something that if you knew any of my homeboys, they can tell you this. Change starts at the top. You can change the people at the bottom all you want, who are, the people who are in the lowest paid and employee people, that don't have real titles and all that. Then you just consider them essential workers. You can fire them. This is equating to pro sports as well. You can fire them, but as long as you have the people at the top that's been there, nothing is going to change, because those are the people who are calling the shots. Now, Arthur Blank is going to have to make some moves at some point in time. There's no way he can just sit back and let this roll another season. I think that Dan Quinn has already sealed his fate. I think Quinn will be gone at the end of the season. I've said that Look, the Falcons have an outside chance at 0-3. I know 0-3 teams really don't make the playoffs, but you just never know. I've already said the Falcons start 0-5, Quinn is done. You fire him at 0-5. It really doesn't matter who you bring in or who you promote, because the season will be done. So it doesn't matter. So fire him and just let him pack up at 0-5. Get out. Bye. But change starts at the top. You're going to have to get rid of our general manager. You have to forgive me. I don't have any notes in front of me. I just wanted to just rant tonight. And I can't think of the GM's name, but he looks like a skinny version of Howie Long. And it's not Rich McKay. Rich McKay, I believe, is the president or something like that. But yeah, I mean, the change starts at the top. That's where Arthur Blank is going to have to start. You can change just because if you bring in another quarterback or you switch out certain players on defense, they're not going to do anything because you still have that chain of command. No one at the top is taking responsibility for what's going on the field. And they just keep sending the same product out there. So you're going to have the same results every Sunday. And it's almost like the Falcons just don't get it. But I'm over it. I've calmed down. And what's crazy is I actually picked the Bears to win this game. I said it was going to be a trap game for Chicago. And the first half and the half of the second half, it was. And then Nick Foles came out and did his thing. So there you go. The Bears come back and beat my Atlanta Falcons. All right. So in other NFL news, there's a lot to get into, but I'm not going to get into everything today. Chicago is living in my head now, rent free. Get out of my head, Bears. Get out. All right, the Buffalo Bills are off to a 3-0 start. Now, I've been telling people the Buffalo Bills are a team that you should be weary of. I won't say be afraid, but be weary of. Like, I like Josh Allen. I know some guys who don't like Josh Allen. And there was one guy that I know. Well, I don't know him, but I listened to him. And I remember him saying how Tyrod Taylor should have been the starter over Josh Allen. Now, I do agree that Taylor doesn't get a lot of the chances to really prove himself because they're yanking him after 2 or 3 games. But I knew that they were getting Allen, to really be their starter. So it was kind of different when Buffalo shipped Taylor off to Cleveland. But the Bills are showing, look, Sunday the Bills almost had an Atlanta Falcon meltdown, being up 28-3. And that score just kept haunting me. It haunted me for a little bit because, the Rams, they came back and actually took the lead in that game. But the Bills end up winning it late, and they hold off to beat the Los Angeles Rams, and the Bills move on to 3-0. As I said, be careful. That team, they got something to prove, and they're 3-0. The streak is going to come to an end. I know one of their upcoming games is either the next game coming up or after that. They got the Raiders coming up. That's going to be a tough matchup for the Buffalo Bills. Now, switching gears a little bit, NBA, the finals are set. Lakers and Heat. LeBron James is playing in his 1,873rd NBA Finals appearance, and he will look to win, I believe, only title number 4. It's 4, right? He has 3. He won 1 in Cleveland, 2 in Miami. Wow, he only has 3 titles. Yeah, so he's looking for number 3 out of the 18,000 times that he's been. He has some real help. AD, I don't see nobody on the Miami Heat giving the 2 Lakers stars fits. And then you have Dwight Howard and McGee coming off the bench. Well, I think McGee starts, but you have Dwight Howard coming off the bench. I just think that's too much work for Jimmy Butler to have to overcome with the Miami Heat. I know Tyler Hero, calling himself Bucket, has been a hero pretty much, especially in that last round against Boston. I just think the magic wears off for Butler and the Miami Heat. They had a good run this year, but I think that the star power is just too much to overcome with the LA Lakers, and I see the Lakers. Look, the Heat have heart. I'll give them that. And that's why I think that the Lakers are going to win it in 6. It won't be a sweep. It won't be 4-1, but I can see the Lakers winning this series in 6. Give me the Lakers. Boo. Hey, look, that's all I got for you today, folks. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Go to the Facebook page to get in contact with the show for comments or suggestions. You've been listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis. And remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.